And I am live. New and improved camera today. And we're practicing. Grab my bass. So I got a little time to practice this evening. And I figured that, I would practice some fretless bass with the intention of working on my intonation. But at the same time, field any questions you guys have on the topic of practice. I get a lot of questions about that in my comments. How to structure practice, like how to get the most out of your practice, because most of the people watching this channel are people with jobs and not a ton of time to practice. So you want to get as much as you can out of your practice, which is completely understandable. I feel the same way. So let's see what we got here. All right, so I am gonna struggle through some fretless bass work. Guys, this is my first fretless bass. I just got it a few weeks ago, and I haven't had barely any time to play it. And here's my objective for my practice today. My objective is I want to improve my intonation without looking at the bass. That's my objective this evening. Even a little improvement will go a long way, because as someone who has played instruments with intonation issues like the upright bass for many years, I know that this is going to be a long journey for me. So you guys are going to hear me suck a little bit, actually. This is going to be great. This is going to be great. This will be a humbling experience for your boy here. But here we go. So first, let me talk about structuring practice. I get asked, like I said, I get asked about this all the time. And I like to structure practice in two ways, two opposite ways. On one side of my practice is, I guess, what we could call mechanic work. Or mechanical work. This is like intonation exercises or warm-up exercises or scales, stuff that's not really musical, but that's really important to develop your skills, you know? And then on the other side of the practice, the other end of practice, I like to do creative stuff. And I think no matter which, sometimes I do the creative stuff first and the technical stuff last. Sometimes I mix it all in. I think a good rule of thumb for practice is to at least do both of those things every practice session. You have to be being creative. You have to be making music with your practice. You have to be having fun too, especially if you're like me, you don't have a ton of time to shed the bass anymore. So that's the biggest consideration I would make. Make sure you're creating on one side and also doing technical practice on the other. And I would also say, and this is a big one for older adults especially people that I work with, I think you should be doing at least half and half. At least half creation and half technical work. A lot of people I talk to really like doing the technical work because you don't have to put yourself out there as an artist or as a bass player. Make sure you're putting yourself out there as a bass player, practicing songs, practicing improvising jam tracks, things like that. So, I am really delaying my practice here. What's up, Chevy? Yeah, guilty. Me too. It's easy. It's easier as you get older, I think, to do that detail work and be like, all right, I'm just going to do scales tonight. No pressure. I'm going to work on the sweaty stuff, but it's not creative pressure, right? Okay, so here we go. You guys, I told you you're going to hear me suck a little bit. I am going to try not to look at my neck tonight. This is going to get ugly because my intonation is bad on this thing so far. So first note I'm going to play, I'm just going to take a shot at the basket here. I want to play a C. I am horrible at playing a C. I'm noticing. There we go. You see how flat that was? Man. Okay. That's where we're going to start today for me. All right. And since I played a C and a G, I guess the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to set my metronome. And I'm going to just alternate from my open G string and my other notes. And I'm just going to try to tune my notes to the G string. I think that'll be fun. And again, embarrassing a little bit, but here we go. And like I said, ask me if any the theme tonight is practice. Ask me anything. Doesn't have to be about practice. Anything musical. I'm gonna try to take my hand off the bass here. Ooh, all right, look at that. Let's go. Flat. So a big thing, if you're a fretless player and you're working on intonation, trying to hear the note in your head before you play it goes a long way in helping you work on this, and it kind of couples with the muscle memory here. So I'm just kind of going back and forth from that C to the D. That was horrible. Let's go up a little bit. Sharp. Not bad. Second octave. Trying to hit the C here. Ah, way to go. Okay, that was good. Just a couple minutes of something like that. So that was kind of, we're talking about the gamut from like creative to technical. That was a little of both, right? That was a little of both. Now let's get technical. And my hands are cold. So winter's coming. If you guys have cold hands a lot, first of all, stretch before you play. That always gets some blood flow in your hands. So I like to do this stretch right here. Real easy, nothing crazy. Just pulling back on the fingers under the forearm stretch. All right, I'm just going to run through a few quick for you. So under the forearm stretch, over the forearm stretch, top of the forearm here. This one be really gentle. Pull my hand down like this. Not yanking on it. Do both of the hands. I did this a little bit before, so. Another good one for making your hands warm. Make a fist like you're angry and slowly bring your fingers out like this. But keep them like a little clenched. And then bring them back. Great one for blood flow into your fingers. Nice little warm up for your tendons. Okay? But anyway, trying to get my hands warmed up. Little warm up I like for my hands. I looked at my neck. Damn it. Trills. Alright, I'm going to do a few of these. I need to get a little more warmed up. While I'm doing that, thing I notice about the fretless bass, I don't know if you guys play fretless. Let me know if you play, if any of the 6 of you play fretless bass. Let me know how do your fingers reach the notes one finger at a time? Can you like do a 4-finger spread and get 4 frets? I cannot. So I'm having to develop kind of a hybrid upright bass / electric bass technique here that I'm developing very slowly and so far semi-successfully. Yeah, I'm gonna do one more set of these trills. Don't do it, Chevy. You got enough on your plate, man. Don't even try one. No, they're great. This thing is addicting, actually. Okay, let's run some scales. I'm going to run some arpeggios. Some major arpeggios. I love doing arpeggios because it gets you all over the bass. And I'm going to run some 2-octave arpeggios, and this is going to get ugly. Here we go. Yeah, me too, Papas. I'm playing this thing, but not well. Here we go. Major arpeggio. Not bad. A little sharp on that. Yeah, that C. Okay, up a half step. So like I mentioned at the beginning, I'm starting with the technical stuff today in my practice. I tend to be sharp. When I'm off, I tend to be sharp. I tend to like I was there, I tend to go too far on the notes. Like that. See how, oh, that's ugly. love to check my notes with open strings when I can. So I'm checking this C right here with an open string to see if it's in tune. Works your ear, it works your finger, works your muscle memory, works your ear. Like this A here, I can check it with the open A string. Sharp again. Not bad. Let me check this out. Good. One more. So right now, again, I'm running 2-octave arpeggios. You don't have to do 2-octave arpeggios. You don't have to do all of them chromatically. Pick one arpeggio. One arpeggio. Work on that one for 5 minutes. In fact, I might have done that. I'm just kind of snowballing here and just throwing things against the wall tonight in my practice. But like, in just one arpeggio, one scale. Work on that one scale. It's about taking small steps forward, guys. If you try to take too many steps forward at a time, you won't get far. You won't get far. Okay? So I'm going to pick one major scale. One last thing. I'm going to do one more like technical, thing for my practice. And I'm going to read this comment first. I just got a nice comment here. Oh. Yeah. Okay, so I am a professional. Tell me about yourself. You play slide guitar. Yeah, man. Oh, yes, I am trying to avoid looking at my fretboard at all. I know when I'm on a gig with this thing that I can look at the fretboard when I need to, but you know what? I read a lot on gigs. Like, I want to get good on this thing like I feel on the upright where like I don't really have to look at it. So I am new to the fretless. I am trying to practice this without looking. Yes. And we're going to go back to my nemesis note, a C. Good. I'm glad to be flat on it there because usually I'm sharp. It means I'm compensating. I'll get there. Okay, there's my nemesis note right there, C. And I'm going to play a C major scale. Interesting thing about the fretless, I'm way worse up at the top of the neck than I am at the bottom of the neck. Has nothing to do with my baby size hands. Not bad. Still sharp. Okay, not bad. So, just played that in rhythm and quarter notes. Let's add some creativity there. I'm just going to hit the metronome. Play some rhythms. Skip around the notes. Check my notes every once in a while. Ah, sharp. Come on, man. Sharp again. Come on, man. Nice. Okay, cool. So one thing that you may not notice while I'm doing this, but or you may notice, even though it sounds like I'm doing maybe some random stuff in there, the reason I'm improvising is to make myself shift differently around the scale. Because, practicing a scale up and down is one thing, but when you're practicing intonation and you're thinking about what you're actually going to do on a gig, which means like random movements of your hands. You don't play up and down a scale all the time. A scale all the time. You have to work moving around and improvising and almost trying to surprise yourself. You know what I mean? Okay, so like that right there. That was out of tune. That was out of tune. I gotta practice surprising myself going around the neck. That's always really valuable, even if you're not playing fretless, playing fretted bass. Practice your scales up and down, get used to it, and then improvise in them. Make sure that you're skipping around and surprising your fingers into new connections in the scale, if that makes sense. All right. Yeah, let me look. Sorry, I'm kind of avoiding the comments here for a second. Love it. Yeah. The muscle memory's carrying over a little bit from the double bass here, but surprisingly not a lot, because the scale is really different. And when you're talking about like millimeters off on a fretless instrument, when you're just like a millimeter off, even the leaning of your finger puts you out of tune. The double bass muscle memory, like in some ways it's helping me because of my ear, but in some ways it's killing me because of the actual scale of the neck. Has been killing me. So anyway, but that's why I'm practicing it. Yeah. I am a professional. Yeah. All right, you just asked if I practice with a tuner. Absolutely, all the time. I'm not practicing it with it right now. Just a personal choice. I'm just kind of working on my ear tonight. Working with the open strings and checking things with the open strings, but absolutely I spend a lot of time with a tuner. Put a tuner on and just see if you can go note for note and just really, really hone in on the intonation. Absolutely. Let's play a tune. Let's hear how sad I am on a tune. I'm just pulling up YouTube. Let's see here. Let's pull up a jazz standard. Let's pull up Lady Bird. Worked on this one recently. I love this tune. Okay. All right, everybody, let me know if I need to turn something up, turn something down, too. So just practicing up some, walking bass here. Terrible. Awful. I was thinking though. My excuse was I was thinking about what to say after that. I wanted to make a point here. But yeah, that was, put my input up. Will do. Thank you. When you're practicing to tunes, thank you. I'll put my bass DI up a little bit. When you're practicing to tunes, guys, again, that spectrum from mechanics to art. When I first start working on a tune like I was doing right there, I was kind of thinking, I'm just going to work on playing in this position mostly because my intonation sucks in that position and I want to work on it. So what I'm saying is give yourself guide rails. Guide rails are really, really important. The more limiting yourself you do, the better your practice will be. Honestly, like don't leave your practice open-ended. So here, I'm going to play through this tune again, and I'm just going to use just walking bass up here in the top position, okay, for the first chorus. And then the second time I go through the tune, the second time I go through the chord changes, I'm just going to use arpeggios, like just arpeggios, no like chromatic connecting tones, just so you can kind of hear like a very like structured walking bass practice. Do you know what I mean? And you can do this on any tune. In fact, I'm going to pull up another jam track after that, and I'll show you how to do it with like a regular jam track. But let's go back to the beginning. So nothing but upper position playing and then arpeggios. Still sharp on that C, man. Oh God, I got a lot of I got a lot of work to do on this thing, man. But yeah, so that's what I'm talking about. And give yourself like really specific guide rails in your practice. Let's pull up like an R&B backing track, and I'll kind of show you how to do that with a more like conventional pop backing track. Let's go. There's one I like, bass jam track. Let's go G major. I really like one of these. Yeah, here it is. Yeah, if you're ever looking for a backing track, soulful jam, G major, 80 BPM. It's one of my favorites. But yeah, I'm gonna pull it up and let's make some guide rails. Okay, I'm gonna keep it super simple. Let's say you're practicing creating bass lines. Okay, that's what you want to practice: being creative and being able to comp bass lines well. Well, the first thing you got to start with, just start with root notes and establish your groove. The core rhythm. What is the core rhythm that you're going to play that, yeah, no, let's play your, thank you for letting me know that my volume is still too low. You know why? Because if I play it hard, it's peaking, but if I don't, it's way too low. Must be the piezo pickups. It's not my fault at all, I swear. It's my fault. All right, turning it up a little more. But anyway, yeah, so root notes only. Root notes only. Establish your core groove, and then we'll talk about like how you can expand on that. Something I do with a lot of my private lesson students a lot, often. Okay, let's hear what we got here. Only, just settling into a rhythm. That's it. But make yourself do it. Don't let yourself get outside the guide rails. Make yourself be disciplined enough to follow the rules you're setting for yourself. I'm gonna finish this pass, and then I'll tell you what the next step would be. Now, the next step, we're going to add to that core rhythm. We're going to keep that core rhythm solid. But we're now going to add pitch to it to enhance the bass line. Okay, so this is step 2. We can do this in a number of different ways. We can use the major scale. We're in the key of G major, so if you know your G major scale, you can use that. Yeah, grab your axe, dog. Let's go. Let's go. You can use the major scale, you can use the pentatonic scale, you can use the arpeggios, you can use just fifths and octaves. In fact, since that one's really simple and easy to do, that's the one we're going to use. So we're keeping that core groove that I established. And now I can add to it to make it a little more colorful. All right? Okay, here we go. I'm going to add some fifths and octaves. 2, 1, 2, 3. do it every time. You know what I mean? Maybe just do it on a couple chords. Do what you think sounds good. But you can hear I still have that chord groove. And I'm still struggling with my intonation. Take chances, see what you think sounds good. See if you can stumble on something new. Okay, so there you go. Sit on that for a little while. You know what I mean? You don't have to go from one thing to the other like I am. Sit on that for a while, guys. Here's another thing about practice. Wear things out. Like, do one thing for a while and force yourself to just do that thing for a while. Whether it's like, what I just did, just roots, fifths, and octaves, do that for 15 minutes. Feel really good about that. Take a small step forward, but a small step that's going to stick with you. Do you know what I mean? I feel like a lot of the people I talk to in this community and myself, this is something I am super guilty of. I have practice ADD. Like, I want to do 25 things all at once, and I definitely fall victim to my own ambition. You know what I mean? Make yourself take a step back. Discipline and simplicity are what practice is all about. You know what I mean? Okay, so since this was the theme of my practice at the beginning was intonation, and I was practicing not looking at my bass, I am now going to practice a type of arpeggio that I really like, which is playing the first, flat, sharp. Okay, there we go. The first, the fifth, the ninth, and the 10th. Okay, I don't know if you guys don't know this one. I'm not going to teach you right now, but this is just a type of arpeggio I like. I'm going to try to do that arpeggio on all of the chord changes. And some really out-of-tune notes are going to ensue, but I'm going to focus on, that's what I'm focusing on, my intonation. I'm not supposed to sound good tonight. All right, I'm putting myself out there for you guys. I'm not going to sound good. This is something I'm actually working on, okay? Here we go. I'm going to try to do that pattern through every chord change here. But I'm really going to focus on my pitch. Really listening to the track, listening to the bass, trying not to look at the bass. Here we go. Let me know if I'm guilty of it. Not bad. I'm trying to envision my fingerboard as if it has frets. One more time. A little different rhythm here. one last thing. I know that was a little like, why is he soloing after all that? Let yourself go off on a tangent too every once in a while. For me, you have to be enjoying yourself in your practice. You know what I mean? So don't take it too seriously. But as you guys could hear, like, I am struggling with finding the intonation on this instrument so far. And a little bit of consistent work, I'm going to come back. Maybe I'll come back in like a month and do another live stream with this thing. We'll see how I am. You know what I mean? We'll see what kind of progress I'm making. One last thing I'll leave you with, because I'm recording this session for myself. Not to criticize myself, but to just listen back. Record yourselves. Hey, Brazil. Nice to hear from you. Thanks for popping in. Record yourself practicing. Like, don't be afraid of listening to yourself. You know what's funny about recording yourself when you practice? Most of the time you will be pleasantly surprised about something. And you know what? If you're pleasantly surprised about something, then that means you took a step forward. And that's a really good thing. And you know what? If you're not pleasantly surprised about anything in that practice session for some reason, be pleasantly surprised that you put the work in. And you did something with your bass that was productive, that felt good. And like I said, at the end of the day, always have fun when you practice. Always try to make it fun. It should be a little sweaty, though. It should be a little sweaty. You should have a little bit of sweat on your brow, when you're working on your scales, when you're trying to memorize patterns and things like that. Take it seriously, but it should feel fun. It should feel enjoyable. Yeah. Anyway, that was. I didn't want to come on for long. I just wanted to pop in, do a quick one. If anybody has any further questions or anything like that, like, leave me a comment on a video. Leave me a comment on this video. Happy to answer always, guys. If I have the time to answer, I will. I'll make the time. So, any questions? Check me out, Kyle Teaches Bass. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Good question. The backing tracks I'm using. I'm using somebody else's, just YouTube backing tracks. This is absolutely, I'm a professional. Hey, man, see ya. Pop back in, man. Thanks for popping in. Hey, I'm using a backing track from a channel called Music Jam Tracks. And they have a bunch of backing tracks with no bass. So honestly, guys, I just see you in a bit, Chevy. I'm looking forward to it as always, brother. I honestly just YouTube search like backing track, no bass, or funk backing track, no bass, or, a specific song. Like, there's just so much stuff out there, guys. So yeah, just hit the search bar. There's such great stuff. Anyway, thanks for hanging, guys. That was really fun. Take care.